Hello, listeners and people that watch Rock Mania on YouTube channel. Today, we will talk with Joaquin Comes, the frontman of HammerFall from Sweden. Hello, Joaquin. It's a pleasure for me to be talking to you. Welcome to Rock Mania.
Hey, thank you very much. It's an honor to be on your show, man. Thank you.
You are celebrating the success of Crimson Thunder album, achieving platinum status in Sweden. How does it feel to receive this acknowledgement?
You know, this album reached gold status a long time ago. And what makes me so proud is that this album, after it's been now 21 years since we released that album, that still this is an album that is standing strong on its own, and it keeps selling. It keeps, reaching out to a whole new audience. I would say that they're, people that were not even born when the album was released, in the first place. They kind of found this album, and it's still, it's still doing so well. So I'm so damn proud that we finally got our first platinum award for an album. This was the very first one. That it took 20 years to get it, but it was worth the wait.
A Crimson Thunder 20-year anniversary edition is coming. What will you have on this album?
Well, first of all, it is the full album, of course. All the songs that were on the original album, but now it has been remixed and remastered by Fredrik Nordström at Studio Fredman. He was the producer behind Glory to the Brave, Legacy of Kings, and then he also did the 20th anniversary edition of Renegade. And he really, made some magic with that album. And also the same now for Crimson Thunder. He went in there and made the album sound, I would say he added a timeless sound to it. So it's really, up to date with where we are right now, technologically. We have some demo versions. We have one version of Hearts on Fire where Oscar is singing. We have some acoustic songs from the kind of the press tour we did for Crimson Thunder. And there's also the full One Crimson Night live on there. So it's it's so packed with so much goodies from 21 years ago.
In the next few days, you will start a tour in Europe, so in sequence North America. How are the expectations?
This tour that we are doing now is the tour for Hammer of Dawn. So we will not tour for Crimson Thunder. This is kind of like a bonus thing to give the fans something special. The tour in Europe started in May 2022. So this is kind of the end of the European tour. And now we are focusing on Sweden and doing, I think it's 11 shows in Sweden. And then after that, we have two more shows in Germany until we go over to North America. And that kind of, then the circle is done. We're done with Europe. We did South America, and now we do North America. And then I think it's time for us to, say thank you and see you later for a while. But of course, the festival season in Europe will come too. As for the Swedish tour we're doing right now, that is more of a club tour. So we know stepping down, playing a little smaller venues, but also then you can kind of connect with the audience a little more. You can be closer to the fans. And I love that. I also love playing the big arenas, like we did now in South America. That's also very nice because then you can have a lot of people and the atmosphere is kind of unique and very special. But when you come into the club shows, you can almost feel the breath. Hopefully they're the teeth before they go there. Yeah, you can smell the breath, and you can fist bump, and you can do all that. So no, I'm really looking forward to this.
At the beginning of last year, you released your 12th official album, Hammer of Dawn. How was it received around the world?
It's been really good, I would say. seems that the fans, I mean, first of all, we as a band is really standing behind this album. This is a really strong and powerful album that came from a lot of frustration during the pandemic, of course, because like everyone else, we couldn't do anything. We were not allowed to play live for over 2 years. And I think that, and of course, when we released the album in February last year, we thought the pandemic was over and that we were supposed to, that we were starting the tour with Halloween in March, but that didn't happen. So everything got postponed like a third time. So that tour is still not over. We are still doing shows on the tour that was supposed to, have started like a year ago and be over in 6 weeks. But overall, it feels like the reception of the new songs, especially live, has been overwhelming. I can only, talk about the shows we've done in Europe and also the shows that we did in South America, that people really, really, enjoy to experience the new songs live. And it seems like they also like to listen to the songs, from the album. So I'm very pleased so far.
Returning time. How did you get started in music?
For me, I used to be a swimmer. So I was kind of in my youth, I was in the junior national team of Sweden. So swimming was my thing. And my best friend in my team up in the Midlands of Sweden, he started to sing in a punk rock band. And I kind of looked up to him and thought that, oh my God, if he can sing, I can sing. So that kind of encouraged me to see if I could develop a voice. So I kind of bragged about how good I was, and I went to do an audition for a band. I was maybe 13 years old, and it sounded awful. It sounded horrible. They never, called me again, and I bought a guitar instead, and I thought, you know what, maybe it's better that I become like the new Yngwie Malmsteen or something. But so everything was like coincidence, but I saw this opportunity coming when my friend became this singer in a punk rock band, and he encouraged me to at least give it a try. And here I am.
When you entered HammerFall, the history is very interesting too.
Yeah, I mean, they called me because HammerFall was in this like a music competition in Gothenburg, and they made it to the semifinals of this competition, and the singer had to go on tour. And that singer was Michael Stanne from Dark Tranquillity. And so they're like, shit, we need a singer. And they knew, both Jesper and Oscar, that they knew me from another band. We never met, but they say, you know what, let's see, because they kind of liked my singing, and they thought, I would add something to their music. So they called me and like, yeah, you know what, yeah, let's do it. I don't have anything else planned. So for me, it was like, yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Nothing went wrong. I think everything went right from that day on. So it's kind of, you need to see the opportunity, and you need to kind of take the chance, when it comes your way. That's how I see it.
And in a solo work in 2004, you released the album Beyond the Gates. What comes to your mind about this work?
No, that was a way for me to get rid of a lot of like inner frustrations that I experienced at that time, and I just needed to get this out of my system somehow. I also felt that the ideas I had couldn't really be diverted or channelized into the music of HammerFall. This had to be something I did outside, and I also had the working with some people, so kind of invited some of my heroes to work with me on this album. So that was really, a cool thing to have Mark Sonder from Warlord on the drums. I had Matt Sinner from Sinner and Primal Fear on the bass. I co-wrote some songs with David Chastain, with what's his name, the guitar player from Annihilator, Jeff Waters, was in there. So, it was a big collaboration, and it turned out a really solid album. But I don't know. At that time, I kind of realized that if you release a project, you need to be careful when releasing, like, solo albums, projects, because there's too many bands like that out there. And that also took some focus from HammerFall, and that was never really my intention. So when I was done with that, of course, I needed to go back and to really focus on HammerFall. So I'm very proud of my solo album. It seems like a lot of new fans are finding out about this album still, and I'm happy it's out there. It's on Spotify. Maybe it's on Apple Music, I don't know, but it's at least if people are interested, check it out. It's very powerful and kind of over melodic sometimes.
And in 2013, as Joaquin Comes, came in the album Nu, my pronunciation, forgive me, Nu kan morkret falar. This one with...
I mean, your Swedish is better than your English, man.
This one with the lyrics in Swedish. Tell us about this album.
Well, that was also kind of a dream I had, that I wanted to do something in my native language, in Swedish. And I have a passion for heavy metal music, but I also have a passion for kind of folklore, like folkish singer-songwriter / pop type of songs. And I just kind of challenged myself to sit down with a guitar and write some songs. And I wrote all the songs except one on this album all by myself. And that was kind of a big achievement for me. This was also something I wanted to do, because with HammerFall, we decided to take a break, and I just needed to stay, to keep my energy going and also my creativity going, even though we didn't do anything with HammerFall. So this was really, really cool to make something from... I mean, I started with a blank piece of paper. I had nothing. And you sit with the guitar and like, okay, so how should I start? Yeah, this chord sounds cool. Okay, then go to this chord, and then maybe this melody would work. So that's how I built up the whole album. I think, unfortunately, it shocked many people, because they expected that album to be maybe a little more hard rock, maybe slightly metal. But this song has nothing to do with metal. I mean, it's very, tuned down. It's a lot of things happening in the instrument section, but the vocals are in the lower department, and it's kind of a storytelling album. Unfortunately, it's really hard for a non-Swedish person to understand the message, But hey, Google Translate.
What means to you, Joaquin, to create songs that end in touching the people, the souls, the hearts?
The feeling is overwhelming, I would say. It's kind of it's nothing that you think you're gonna do, because when you write a song, the most important thing is that you're satisfied yourself, that you can stand behind this song and say, you know what, I'm so damn proud of this song. I couldn't have done this better, or I wouldn't have done it differently. And then when you have a song, like if we talk about HammerFall now, like our debut album, Glory to the Brave, there are still people, sending messages on Instagram. They're sending it on Messenger, like, what really helped me through so many bad things. This song was played at my father's funeral. I played this song at my girlfriend's funeral. This song really helped me, and that makes me so proud that I'm sitting in the north of Europe in the winter and writing songs that and melodies that I think is, this could probably be a cool song. And then I'm touching people in the south of Europe, in South America, in Japan, and people kind of experiencing the same thing I did when I wrote the song. but also that people can interpret the song and make it their own. Maybe I write a song, and to me, this song is about a dragon, but for you, it's about your courageous dog or your cat or something like that. I'm just explaining, really big differences here. So no, I'm really happy, and I'm really proud that I'm able to, or that we are able to touch people, and still are. It still feels like every new album has something that people can really make their own. But that's also a matter of, especially when it comes to the lyrics, that even though people don't really read the lyrics anymore, because you have to kind of Google the lyrics because you don't have the CDs or the vinyls, then I'm working really hard with the lyrics and trying to get a message through. And when someone took their time, they Googled the lyrics, they got into the lyrics, and they send a message, to me, that is kind of a receipt that, yes, it was worth the effort. It was really worth all these months struggling with the words, struggling with the melodies, because, these people understood exactly what I meant with the song.
And Joaquin, what do you do to keep singing so well over the years? Do you have any special care with your voice?
No, I drink alcohol, champagne, things like that. No, it's I'm trying to stay in shape, physically. For the past 10 years, I've been running a lot, and I kind of, I'm in pretty good shape, so I can run around on stage, I can headbang and sing at the same time, and that also built up, a stamina in my body that I think I sing better now than I did 25 years ago, to be honest with you. But I made a decision 10 years ago that I want to get older with dignity. I want to keep my grace and dignity. Even I'm 53 now. I'm turning closer to 55, up to 60. I'm going to try and be on top of my performance all the way to the end. I'm not sure when the end is going to come, but I'm going to make sure that I'm going to kind of prolong the end. I'm going to extend it as long as it's possible, as long as I can, make a difference. Because at the end of the day, if you get old and sick, and what happens, you can kind of get an illness or something. You can't really do anything about that. But I'm going to at least try my best to keep in shape all the way to the end.
What do you like to do when you are not involved with music? Do you have any hobby, something?
Yeah, I would say my hobby, first of all, is running. I love to run. That is really my thing. I like to hike, just to walk. I also studied, what a sommelier is, like a wine expert?
Sommelier.
Yeah, exactly. So I studied that. So I am actually a certified sommelier now, VSET 3 and 4. So that is also something I really enjoy doing. But you have to keep in mind that as a sommelier now, you're sniffing, you're tasting, and you spit. If you drink everything, you're not going to last in that business. So I'm really interested in wine, especially champagne.
If you could be part of any band in the history of music in an imaginary world, which band would be and why?
Ooh. I mean, that is maybe just to experience the hysteria around the band back in the 60s. I would like to be part of the Beatles for one night.
Oh.
I mean, just to experience what they experienced. I mean, with HammerFall, we have experienced a lot of cool things. I think for the Beatles, being kind of the first band out there, being huge icons and stars, I just want to go out and see the reactions from the fans.
Another imaginary question, more crazy, this one. If you needed to live inside the cover art of any album of the history of music, which album would be and why?
I'm just going to go to the album, the first one that came to my mind. I think that is the best way to answer this. And that would be Magnum on a Storyteller's Night. Sitting in front of the fireplace. That looks really, really nice and comfortable. Looks like a great party.
Uh-huh. If you could have any superpower, what would be and why?
A superpower. If I was 20 years old, I would probably want to see through clothes to look at girls, but no, that's not going to happen. Who is the coolest? I mean, in that case, I want to be. Also, the first thing that came to my mind, I want to be Superman. Or no, Deadpool. I love Deadpool. Yeah, he's so funny. Yeah, I want to have more action because Superman is so lame. He's kind of a wimp. So,
do you have a dream, Joaquin, for your life, for the band, for humankind?
I think on a personal level, I am living my dream. That I'm sitting here after 26 years, still talking about, my work and talking about HammerFall. So, but when your dream becomes reality, you kind of need to set up new goals. Because music in the beginning for me was a hobby. And when it became a business, a lot of joy, of course, disappeared. Because now all of a sudden you need to make money to pay the bills, to pay the rent, to pay your kids, school and all that. Like, shit, now I need to make money. That takes away a little of the fun, I would say. But I always said, we're going to continue playing as a band as long as we have fun. And my dream now, I don't know. My dream is to explore kind of, I think dreams are changing, I want to be able to maybe run a marathon somewhere, maybe walk this this pilgrimage from France to Spain, like the St. Jacob's, whatever you call it, the pilgrimage thing. That's a dream I have. But a dream sometimes is something you cannot really reach. But on the other hand, when I was a kid, I dreamed about being a rock star, and I thought that was impossible. And shit, here I am. So, I don't know. My dream right now is to, maybe I open up my restaurant like a champagne bar somewhere in the world. Yes, that is my dream. And you're invited.
What things do you like in Brazil, Joaquin?
I think, first of all, the people. And also the passion they show for the music and the artists and the bands that they like. They are really there to show their appreciation, and we always feel a lot of love coming from the fans. And I think that you kind of are reacting the correct way, because in some countries you come and play and people, they are standing like this. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, but they don't really get into the music. In Brazil, you feel the music. You're part of the music. You also want to be part of the show. So it's kind of like a 360 thing going on there. What else is great? Weather, of course. It's always nice to get some nice weather. Unfortunately, I am not a meat eater anymore. So going to the churrascarias it's hard for me because I don't eat meat. So I'm sitting there eating salad, and that's boring.
What are your next steps?
I think now we're just going to end this, the Hammer of Dawn tour that we're out on. And we have, Europe, we have North America, and we have all the summer festivals and a couple of shows into September. And I think kind of that is it. Then we have to close the door to Hammer of Dawn. And then what's going to happen, I'm not sure, but you know what, maybe we start, write and record some new material, and maybe within the next 2 years or something, you will, have a new album. I'm not going to promise anything because we live in a fucked up world at the moment. Who knows what's going to happen, you know? So we live day by day, enjoy the moment, enjoy your life now. If you want to do something, do it now. Do not wait until tomorrow. Yes. That's the only thing I have to say.
Joaquin Comes, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this interview. Rock Mania is always available.
Thank you very much. So see you in Brazil next time.
Yeah.